Ready to go. Okay. Good evening, everyone. We are on the record. Today is Wednesday, the 10th day of November, 2021. This is a regular meeting of the Jersey City Municipal Council. In effort to adhere to social distancing protocols and best practices imposed by the city and state authorities, the City of Jersey City has canceled all public meetings and closed non-essential services as of March 16th, 2020 until further notice. As a result, this council meeting will be held virtually as a video conference with public access. We had a scheduled 6 p.m. start. The clock on my computer is showing 6:03 p.m. May I have a roll call for the commencement of this meeting? Councilperson Ridley. Not here yet. Councilperson Prinzary.
Here.
Councilperson
Sean, she
Baggiano.
won't be here tonight. Denise will be out.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Council President. Councilperson Baggiano.
Here.
Councilperson Saleh.
Here.
Councilperson Saleh is on the phone. He's the one with the phone. So he's going to be on the phone until further notice. Councilperson Solomon.
Here.
Councilperson Robinson. Is not here yet. Okay. Councilperson Lavaro.
Here.
Councilperson Rivera.
Here.
And Council President Waterman.
Here.
Okay, we have 7 council members in attendance at 6:03 p.m. Can we kindly rise for a moment of silence, please?
My brother-in-law, Irvin Cruz.
I'm sorry, who did you say, Danny?
What was
If I
that?
can add, Hipólito Rodan. I don't know if Danny already said that, but
Thank you very much. Please remain standing as we salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you very much. On behalf
Sean.
of council.
my apologies.
Yeah.
It looks like I'm frozen again. I'm going to leave and come back.
Okay. Okay, on behalf of Council President Waterman, in accordance with New Jersey Public Laws of 1975, Chapter 231, the Open Public Meetings Act, also known as the Sunshine Law, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by the posting on the bulletin board of the first floor of City Hall, the annual notice, which is the schedule of meetings and caucuses of the Municipal Council for the calendar year 2021, and filed in the office of the Municipal Clerk on Wednesday, November 12th, 2020. In addition, at its time for its preparation, the agenda of this meeting was similarly disseminated on Friday, November 5th, 2021 at 1:45 p.m. to the Municipal Council, Mayor, Business Administrator, Corporation Council, and the local newspapers, and posted on the city's website, so I can certify as to our total compliance with the Sunshine Law. All right. Council President, I'm going to take it right from the top.
Yes.
Okay, so if you would allow me to read in to the record the first reading ordinances, I'm going to start with item 3.1, City Ordinance 21-073 is an ordinance of the City of Jersey City and the County of Hudson, New Jersey, providing for a special emergency appropriation of $10 million, providing for the payment of contractually required severance liabilities resulting from layoff or retirement of employees. Item 3.2, City Ordinance 21-074, an ordinance of the City of Jersey City and the County of Hudson, New Jersey, authorizing the execution and delivery of a subsidiary agreement with the Jersey City Redevelopment Agency to secure payment of the principal and interest up to $169,810,000 bonds or note project notes to be issued by said agency in connection with the implementation of the Bayfront redevelopment project. Item 3.3, City Ordinance 21-075 is an ordinance supplementing Chapter 332, Vehicles and Traffic, Article 9, Parking for the Disabled of the Jersey City Code, designating a reserved parking space at various locations throughout the city. Council members, I'm going to be taking a vote on items 3.1 to 3.3. Again, items 3.1 through 3.3. Councilperson Ridley will be absent for the entire meeting, so I'm going to go right to Councilperson Prinzary.
Aye for introduction.
Thank you. Councilperson Baggiano.
Aye.
Councilperson Saleh.
Aye for introduction.
Councilperson Solomon.
No on 3.1, aye on the rest.
So no on 3.1, aye on the rest. Got it.
Yep.
Councilperson Robinson is here?
Yes.
Okay.
I am here.
Okay. So let me mark you present at 6:09 p.m. And we now have 8 council members in attendance at 6:09 p.m. So Councilperson Robinson, we're voting on first reading ordinances, items 3.1 through 3.3.
Aye for introduction.
Thank you. Councilperson Labarro.
So on 3.2, I have some questions. So I'd requested a number of pieces of information, specifically requested. I'm sorry, I'm just going to take off my headset because I'm having a hard time here. Give me a second. Sean, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you, sir.
Okay, so folks, on 3.2, I'm sorry, I requested information, specifically the proposals from the 2 developers who were successful in their bids. I forget the names of those two developers. Penrose, I believe, was one. Omni, or maybe it was a partnership there, and I'm not sure who the other one was. And then the other information requested was a redevelopment agreement for the 2 developers, and then lastly the purchase agreement, because I was under the assumption that we've actually closed on these and had obviously designated developers and have redevelopment agreements in place. The reason for that assumption is that we had a groundbreaking last year in 2020 on this project. So I really just asking the administration point blank, is there a redevelopment agreement? First and foremost, I'm not even requesting the information at this point, just asking if we have a redevelopment agreement in place with these entities. I asked the same question on Monday. I've asked previously in the past and have not received any answers. And so it's perplexing to me and confounding, frankly, that we had a groundbreaking last year reporting that the Bayfront project is important, huge project for Jersey City, was moving forward, and that and yet we can't furnish a redevelopment agreement or the purchase agreement or even the purchase price for these properties. So I'm going to ask the business administrator and any representatives from the city, whether JCRA officials or otherwise, to please chime in here and provide us some information.
Councilman, we only have the information on the bonds right now. We could bring back bond counsel and a representative from redevelopment agency at the next caucus meeting, but we don't have any representatives here tonight.
I think we certainly can bring them back, but it's a very simple question, and I would ask the council members who sit on the JCRA. I asked it at Monday's caucus. It's a very simple question. Do we have a redevelopment agreement in place or not? And if the answer is either yes or no, and I'm beginning to gather that we don't, and that we may have designated a redeveloper, but we don't actually have a redevelopment agreement in place. And so again, I'll just reiterate the question for the record. If anyone, including the members of the council who sit on the JCRA, if you could elucidate on that. I would think this has come across the JCRA's commission's desk at this point, and just give us a straight answer as to whether or not there's a redevelopment agreement in place with these developers.
Councilman, I want to say yes. I just, I'm getting contact with Diana Jeffries and Joe Bauman so that they can chime in as well today. So once they give me that information and they chime in, I'll come back to the question.
Okay, I appreciate that, Councilman Rivera. We can get that clarity. I think we all deserve to know whether that's happening. And I'd appreciate if we could get that. I appreciate if we could get that information ASAP and not prior to the vote on second reading. Again, it's really a very simple question, and the response should be easily forthcoming from the parties involved. That being said, I too am going to vote no on 3.1 and aye on all the rest.
Okay, Councilperson Rivera
I vote aye.
and Council President Waterman.
Aye for introduction.
Thank you. Okay, if I can just recap, item 3.1 is approved 6-2, with councilpersons Solomon and Lavaro voting no, and councilperson Ridley absent. Items 3.2 through 3.3 are approved 8-0, with councilperson Ridley absent, introduced. Alrighty. So Council President, council members, and members of the public watching, we are now approaching our second reading ordinances. If you wish to speak on a second reading ordinance, this is the time to advise us by providing your full name and telephone number through the live event Q&A, and we'll patch you through the meeting. With that being said, I'm going to read the first second reading ordinance into the record, item 4.1, City Ordinance 21-071. It's an ordinance of the Municipal Council of the City of Jersey City adopting amendments to the residential, public, quasi-public retail zone of Ocean/Bayview redevelopment plan. This is a public hearing on this ordinance. Any member of the public wishing to be heard, please provide me with your full name and telephone number, and we will patch you through the meeting. Okay, this is the last call for the public hearing on City Ordinance 21-071. Any member of the public wishing to be heard, please provide me with your full name and telephone number through the live event Q&A, and we will patch you through the meeting. Okay, it looks like we have someone who wishes to be contacted. Just please bear with us while we get the person on the line. Okay, just bear with us. Okay, I believe we have our speaker on the line. If you can identify yourself for the record, please.
Yvonne Walter.
Okay, Yvonne, you are speaking on City Ordinance 21-071, correct?
No, 7-2.
Okay, so if you could just hold the line while we get the next speaker on the line, because we're still on 21-071.
Okay, my mistake.
Thank you. Okay, we're just trying to get, it's Gene Daly that we're trying to get on the line. Just bear with us. Okay, if you can identify yourself for the record.
Yes, my name is Jean Daly.
Okay, Gene, your time is going to start on my countdown. You're going in 3, 2, 1, go.
I apologize because I didn't hear Yvonne's statements, so this may be redundant, but as per Councilman Lavaro was stating, if we don't have, or you can't find a redevelopment plan, how are we supposed to make an amendment to this? This can't be passed. If you don't have the documents to prove that we have the plan, how can you amend a plan that essentially doesn't exist? That's the only statement I do have. Thank you.
Thank you very much. This is still a public hearing on City Ordinance 21-071. If any member of the public is wishing to be heard, please provide me with your full name and telephone number through the live event Q&A, and we will patch you through the meeting. Okay, this is the last call for the public hearing on City Ordinance 21-071. Any member of the public wishing to be heard, please provide me with your full name and telephone number through the live event Q&A, and we will patch you through the meeting. Okay, council members, no one has contacted me through the live event Q&A. May I have a motion to close the public hearing on City Ordinance 21-071?
Motion.
Motion made by Councilperson Rivera. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilperson Prinzary. On the motion to close the public hearing on City Ordinance 21-071, Councilperson Prinzary.
Aye.
Councilperson Baggiano.
Aye.
Councilperson Saleh.
Aye.
Councilperson Solomon.
Aye.
Councilperson Robinson.
Aye.
Councilperson Lavaro. Is Councilperson Lavaro on? I don't see him.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Councilperson Rivera
Aye.
and Council President Waterman.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0. With council members Ridley and Lavarro absent, to close the public hearing on City Ordinance 21-071. For final consideration and adoption of City Ordinance 21-071, Councilperson Prinzary.
Aye.
Councilperson Bajano.
Aye.
Councilperson Saleh.
Aye.
Councilperson Solomon.
Aye.
Councilperson Robinson.
Aye.
Is Councilperson Lavarro back? Don't see him. Okay. Councilperson Rivera
Aye.
and Council President Waterman.
Aye.
City Ordinance 21-071 is adopted 7-0 with council members Ridley and Lavarro absent. On to our next second reading ordinance, item 4.2, City Ordinance 21-072 is an ordinance authorizing the execution of a temporary construction easement and assessment, and access easement agreement between the City of Jersey City and 160 Lafayette Associates, authorizing Lafayette Associates to install and maintain 2 monitoring wells in Reverend Urkel Webb Park, also known as Lafayette Park. This is a public hearing on this ordinance. Any member of the public wishing to be heard, please provide me with your full name and telephone number through the live event Q&A, and we will patch you through the meeting. I believe we have our first speaker on the line.
Yes,
If you can identify yourself for the record, please. Thank you.
Yvonne Balser.
Okay, Yvonne, your timer is going to start on my countdown. You're going in 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, I read the ordinance and I'm somewhat confused as to why we would be monitoring a well water when in Jersey City, our water comes outside the city. We don't drink well water as other communities do. Is there a specific reason as to why we're monitoring well water in this particular development? Could someone give me a reason about it? Doesn't make sense.
John? Is anyone on?
I raise this up because the state have been giving us more and more mandates that make housing costs much more expensive. And it doesn't make sense to me to do this. It's just adding a cost on to this particular redevelopment, area. If it's really dangerous, it should be drained. But it doesn't make sense to me that we would be wanting a well water.
Yvonne, I'll make sure somebody email you. I guess they're not on this line here. I'll make sure someone email you, Yvonne.
Okay. Well, I
Okay.
would appreciate that.
I'll
I want to
find
bring up the fact, if I have some time left, is that when I had my house change the heating system, the state said in 1985, just have to cap your oil tank, and that's fine. Many years later, when I sold my house, I had to go through the whole expense of taking it out, which cost $30,000 more. So the state you should be pushing back against the state for some of their mandates, which add to the cost of housing. What I'm trying to bring up.
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
thank you.
Okay, this is still a public hearing on City Ordinance 21-072. Any member of the public wishing to be heard, please provide me with your full name and telephone number through the live event Q&A, and we will patch you through the meeting.
Come on.
This is the last call for the public hearing on City Ordinance 21-072. Any member of the public wishing to be heard, please provide me with your full name and telephone number through the live event Q&A, and we will patch you through the meeting. Council members, just remember, there is a delay to when the public hears, so that's why we got to give a little bit of time before we can close the public hearing. Okay, council members, no one has contacted me through the live event Q&A. May I have a motion to close the public hearing on City Ordinance 21-072?
Motion.
Motion made by Councilperson Baggiano. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilperson Saleh. On the motion to close the public hearing on City Ordinance 21-072, Councilperson Prinzary.
Aye.
Councilperson Baggiano.
Aye.
Councilperson Saleh.
Aye.
Councilperson Solomon.
Aye.
Councilperson Robinson.
Aye.
Councilperson Lavarro.
Aye.
Councilperson Rivera.
Aye.
And Council President Waterman.
Aye.
Motion carries 8-0 with Councilperson Ridley absent to close the public hearing on City Ordinance 21-072 for final consideration and adoption of City Ordinance 21-072. Councilperson Prinzary.
Aye.
Councilperson Baggiano.
Aye.
Councilperson Saleh.
Aye.
Councilperson Solomon.
Aye.
Councilperson Robinson.
Aye.
Councilperson Lavarro.
Aye.
Councilperson Rivera.
Aye.
And Council President Waterman.
Aye.
City Ordinance 21-072 is adopted 8-0 with Councilperson Ridley absent. Before we move on, Councilperson Lavarro, would you like to provide me your vote on City Ordinance 21-071?
Aye.
Aye, okay. So if I can just recap, City Ordinance 21-071 is finally adopted 8-0 with Councilperson Ridley absent. All righty. All right, council members, before we move on, I believe we did discuss this at the caucus, so we do have a tabled ordinance that we would like to remove from the tabled agenda. It's item 11.15, City Ordinance 21-064, a franchise ordinance granting permission to 208 CCJC LLC for the installation of 4 decorative planters at Block 12703, Lot 1, also known as 2 Cole Street, 4 Cole Street, 6 Cole Street, and 8 Cole Street, encroaching onto the right-of-way. May I have a motion to remove item 11.15, City Ordinance 21-064 from the tabled agenda?
Motion.
Motion made by Councilperson Solomon. I didn't hear the second. Who was the second?
Second.
Second by Councilperson Rivera. On the motion to remove item 11.15, City Ordinance 21-064 from the tabled agenda, Councilperson Prinzary.
Aye.
Councilperson Baggiano.
Aye.
Councilperson Saleh.
Aye.
Councilperson Solomon.
Aye.
Councilperson Robinson.
Aye.
Councilperson Lavarro.
Aye.
Councilperson Rivera.
Aye.
And Council President Waterman.
Aye.
Motion carries 8-0 with Councilperson Ridley absent to remove item 11.15, City Ordinance 21-064 from the tabled agenda. Council members, we had conducted a public hearing on this ordinance already, so we can move right for adoption as long as it's okay. We do have the approval and the green light from the fire department. All the questions were answered, I believe. Councilperson Solomon, if you want to just confirm that for the record.
Yeah, confirmed.
Thank you so much. So with that being said, for final consideration and adoption of City Ordinance 21-064, Councilperson Prinzary.
Aye.
Councilperson Baggiano.
Aye.
Councilperson Saleh.
Aye.
Councilperson Solomon.
Aye.
Councilperson Robinson.
Aye.
Councilperson Lavarro.
Aye.
Councilperson Rivera.
Aye.
And Council President Waterman.
Aye.
City Ordinance 21-064 is adopted 8-0 with Councilperson Ridley absent. Okay, council members and members of the public, we are now on to our public request for a hearing. We'll be calling the list of speakers as they are listed on the agenda. We have 5 speakers listed, so we're going to be starting with 5.1. Please be by your phone or cell phone, whatever phone that you're using. So when we do call you, you are able to answer it, because if it goes to voicemail or it goes unanswered, we will not be calling you back. With that being said, just bear with us as we get our first caller, or excuse me, first speaker on the line. Okay, so we have no way of contacting our first speaker listed, so we are now moving on to 5.2. Manya? Are you there?
Yes, it's me. Yes.
Okay, if you can identify yourself for the record, please.
Okay, my name is Monya Ridiboim. I'm
Okay.
from 100 Montgomery Street.
Okay, your time is going to start on my countdown. You're going in 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I appreciate this opportunity to talk to City Council. I congratulate everyone with your new term of service. I came to council only to say publicly a few words to Councilman Solomon. James, I believe you remember, of course, how the Friedrich Engels and Karl Marx started their manifesto in 1848. But I'm not sure that you know what Vladimir Lenin said 60 years later. He said, we shouldn't worry. Democracy will kill itself. And I always remember it when I see you. Always. I will not accept your statement. It's okay to say fascist America. You disagree, but it's okay to say it. It's absolutely unacceptable, especially if we will take into account that you are a man who is working with new generation. And it's absolutely a very painful statement. It's not accidental as words. I see your behavior in a meeting which you created here 4 years ago across from in front of Trump Tower. What you said, do you remember? You said to people around you, no income no on Jersey City soil. You create, you said that Jersey City has to have own jail as a shelter for people who violate the law. You said that you, something else I already forgot, I'm talking without notes. Okay, and now your statement that you are fighting with developers. My dear, you remember how you behave in our building? You're a good boy for our management and for our landlord. Your name, you are master to promote your name. Your name is already familiar in on another side of Atlantic Ocean. Your name already know people in remote state Maine, where is the landlord located and management company headquarters located. I was talking to Vice President. She knows your name, to my surprise.
Sir,
She knows.
sir, your time is up.
Yes. Okay, thank you very much. I wish you all of you success. Bye.
Okay, thank you very much. We can hang up the line so we can get our next speaker patched through. I greatly appreciate it. Just bear with us. Okay, I believe we have our next speaker on the line. If you can identify yourself for the record, please. Well, maybe we don't. Okay, just bear with me. If you have already spoken, if you could hang up the line so we can get our next speaker patched through, I greatly appreciate it. Okay. Just bear with us. Okay, I believe we have our next speaker on the line. If you can identify yourself for the record, please.
Yvonne Bolsters, my turn.
Yes, yes, Yvonne,
Okay.
your time is going to start on my countdown. You're going in 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay. At 5:30, I received my email from the city concerning the open space. I was told that I may have a problem with my bill. I doubt if that's true because other people I know had the same problem. The county open space is not listed. I scanned it, what was on my bill. I didn't write it, on that. But I don't want to spend too much time talking about this. I really want to spend this less than 3 minutes talking about Bayfront. I'm disappointed the city pulled this. I call it really a scam because I said in the beginning it will not work. And right now, by pushing it over to the redevelopment agency, we are responsible for all taxes in the redevelopment agency if they can't pay their bills. It's still taxpayers doing this. And this is a great debt on the back of people. The city should have sold the land, used that money to pay for the schools. We have that obligation coming up here. But what we're doing right now is that the city should tell every taxpayer how much money they owe in debt when they receive their tax bill. This is nothing but, you're robbing Peter to pay Paul to do this. And, it's a real problem. It's just, you did what the mayor said, and now taxpayers are left holding the bag. And it's wrong. And I asked about this at several budget hearings. Where is the debt? I added at least twice, if not more times than that. Where is the debt for Bayfront? I said this over and over again, and I was told by this administration that you don't have that information. Well, that's a lie. You had it. You chose not to share it with me. But so I think the city could be more transparent as they pretend they are transparent and start telling the public how much debt they really have with all this nonsense. This is even worse than what Brett Schindler did, Jerry McCann did, my mistake did, in 1990 when he bonded $129.9 million in debt service. And I guess we paid that off right now, but we had to refinance the bonds over and over again. This is a major debt on people, and as I read a little bit of it, we're talking about 40 years to pay this off. 40 years, that's ridiculous. So we can promise affordable housing to a group of people. I don't have affordable housing, so why should we promise something to new residents who haven't lived here? You take people's property all the time in tax liens if they don't pay your services. But we're right now in debt because of a campaign promise was made for Jersey City together to provide affordable housing while you're taking people's homes who are late either in taxes or in water. They don't get affordable housing. So right now we have this debt, and transferring it to the redevelopment agency is nothing but a scam. It is robbing Peter to pay Paul. It eventually will come out of the pocketbook of taxpayers. I don't know how much time I have left, but I just want you to know that this is absolutely totally wrong, and I hope the city will get back to me with an explanation as to why I do not receive on my tax bill the county open space.
Your time is up, Yvonne. Thank you.
Thank you, Yvonne. Okay. Please bear with us while we get our next speaker on the line. I believe we have our next speaker. If you can identify yourself for the record, please.
Yes, my name is Jean Daly.
Okay, Jean, your time is going to start on my countdown. You're going in 3, 2, 1, go.
Thank you. Good evening. I mean, after an exhausting election season, I have to congratulate everybody for the hard work that they put into it, or at least willingness to participate. I definitely have a problem with this transfer of debt to the redevelopment agency. I don't know what the point, because if we just keep on taking upon debt, keep on bonding, it's just putting off the future of same thing we have with our schools. We are completely bankrupt, and we are bankrupting our city. And whether we transfer it to one account to another means nothing. It's really a shame, especially from what I understand. Has Bayfront been paid for, the property itself? Another thing I would like to speak to is the resolution 21-754 regarding the JSEPT. It seems like we're about to give them close to $1 million, $1 million, excuse me, $1 million regarding a contract that expired on June 30th, 2021. Anyone with half a brain would know that that's a moot contract. The fact that the Business Corporation Council even considered this or tossed it out to you is staggering to me. I've never seen something so foolish. Additionally, within that resolution, there's all this benchmarks, this, that, the other thing, and yet there's no facts. Where are the facts in this thing? We also know, we've known for quite some while that they've been run or poorly run into the ground with indictments, etc. And why are we throwing good money after bad? From what I seem to think, from looking at it, is that we're not supposed to give them anything. They're supposed to have these grants. And why are we subsidizing a flawed entity that is not serving us at all? And it's heinous to actually even approve it. This resolution should be withdrawn immediately. I'm asking that you do the same. Just quickly, because I know in the news it appeared again, I guess the other day, is about the payroll tax and the lawsuit. And once again, it's going to go to the Supreme Court of New Jersey. Just want to remind everybody, the Exchange Place Alliance is part of that lawsuit. If you read down all the plaintiffs in that lawsuit, our very own Exchange Place Alliance Special Improvement District is participating and is one of the plaintiffs in this case. They're not permitted to do so legally. And also, I'd like to know, if we're talking about accountability from the council members, what are you doing about this? I mean, truthfully, I would have hoped that Ms. Waterman would at least resign out of just anger. But it really is really a shame. Okay, thank you very much, Sean. I appreciate your time, everyone. Thank you.
Okay. All right, we're about to get our last speaker on the line. If you can just bear with us a couple seconds, we'll try to get our next and last speaker on the line. Okay, I believe we have our last speaker on the line. If you can identify yourself for the record, please.
This is Esther Wintner.
Okay, Esther, your time is going to start on my countdown. You're going in 3, 2, 1, go.
I'm calling regarding Ordinance 21-074, the ordinance to move the $170 million bond from the city books to the JCRA. I'm calling because I'd like to understand this better, because I read the article in the Jersey Journal, and it just doesn't make sense to me. Firstly, it says that this is being done because it would be more advantageous for interest rates. So that's my first point. I'd like to know how and in what manner that would be more advantageous if these bonds were issued or agreed upon for issue. How would that change the interest rate? And also, I would like to touch on what the councilman commented about not wanting to burden the taxpayer by moving this over to the JCRA. This is the taxpayer's burden, no matter where it is. It's just you're changing the line item from one book to another. And to me, this just is a replay of the MUA garbage contract, where the garbage contract was moved over to the MUA. The city said, look, you know, we didn't have to raise taxes because we saved money, but to the taxpayer, we're still paying the garbage bill. In fact, we're paying more because the municipal budget wasn't reduced by that amount. So this ordinance makes no sense to me, and I'm hoping that someone can please, before anyone votes on this at the next meeting, really look through in more detail what this is about and how this is going to save money in terms of interest, because that doesn't make sense, and to be honest about how this is going to impact the bottom line of the taxpayer, because right now that's a duplicitous statement to say that that it's not going to burden the taxpayer. The taxpayer is ultimately responsible, even as a subsidy contract, for the payment of this money, of the interest to the bondholders. So could someone please explain how that works? If you're going to vote on it, I assume that everyone understands the details of such a huge bond, such as $170 million. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. If we can just hang up the line so we can move on for the rest of the meeting, I greatly appreciate it. Alrighty, council members, on to our petitions and communications, items 6.1 through 6.16. Any questions or comments? Okay, hearing none. Officer Communications 7.1 through 7.2. Any questions or comments? There are no report of directors. On to our claims and addendum number 1. Again, council members will be taking a vote on claims and addendum number 1. Councilperson Prinzeri.
Aye.
Councilperson Baggiano.
Aye.
Councilperson Saleh.
Aye.
Councilperson Solomon.
Aye.
Councilperson Robinson.
Aye.
Councilperson Navarro.
Aye.
Councilperson Rivera.
Aye.
And Council President Waterman.
Aye.
Claims and addendum number 1 are approved 8-0 with Councilperson Ridley absent. Okay, on to our resolutions. Before I take a vote on the resolutions, Business Administrator, Mr. Metro, I believe you have indicated that, or do you want to make a statement?
Yeah, Sean, the administration is going to withdraw 10.3. We'll bring it back at the next meeting. Councilman Navarro asked for additional information and language, and I just want to make sure that's vetted, provided to him in ample time, and that the corrections are made for the council to consider. So I'll withdraw 10.3 and we'll bring it back with an updated version and for discussion at the next caucus.
Okay, so with that being said, council members, I'm going to be taking a vote on items 10.1 through 10.
Could you post them? Could you post them on the computer?
Yes. So again, we'll be, Amanda, if you can just share your screen with the resolutions. I'm going to be taking a vote on items 10.1 through 10.13 with the exception of 10.3, which has been withdrawn. So again, items 10.1 through 10.13, which has been withdrawn. I mean, with the exception of 10.3, which has been withdrawn. Councilperson Prinzary. And thank you, Amanda, for bringing the ordinance resolutions up.
Aye for all.
Thank you. Councilperson Bajano.
Aye.
Councilperson Saleh.
Aye.
Councilperson Solomon.
Aye.
Councilperson Robinson.
Aye.
Councilperson Lavaro.
Thank you for withdrawing for 10.3. On 10.4, John, did you guys provide me the list of who was delinquent with their third quarter tax payments?
Councilman, we have to get that from the vendor. We were just waiting for a finalization of that, but I'll be able to provide it. I know I just don't have it for this meeting at the moment, but I will definitely provide that by the end of business on Friday.
Okay, I'm going to abstain on 10.4 and vote aye on all the rest.
Okay. Councilperson Reber
I vote aye.
and Council President Waterman.
I vote aye.
Okay. If you would kindly allow me to recap, items 10.1 through 10.2 are approved 8-0 with Councilperson Ridley absent. 10.3 has been withdrawn. 10.4 is approved 6-0-1 with Councilperson Lavaro abstaining and Councilperson Ridley absent. Actually, that's wrong. It's actually 7-0-1. I apologize. So the vote on 10.4 is 7-0-1 with Councilperson Lavaro abstaining and Councilperson Ridley absent. I apologize about that. And items 10.5 through 10.13 are approved 8-0 with Councilperson Ridley absent. Alrighty, on to our next set of resolutions, items 10.14 through 10.24. Again, items 10.14 through 10.24. Councilperson Prinzary.
Aye for all.
Councilperson Bajano.
Aye.
Councilperson Saleh.
Aye for all.
Councilperson Solomon.
Aye for all.
Councilperson Robinson.
Aye.
Councilperson Lavaro.
Aye for all.
Councilperson Rivera.
Aye.
And Council President Waterman.
Aye.
Okay. Items 10.14 through 10.24 are approved 8-0 with Councilperson Ridley absent. On to items 10.25 through 10.32. Again, items 10.25 through 10.32. Councilperson Prinzary.
Aye for all.
Councilperson Bajano.
Aye.
Councilperson Saleh.
Aye for all.
Councilperson Solomon.
Aye for all.
Councilperson Robinson.
Aye.
Councilperson Lavaro.
Aye.
Councilperson Rivera.
Aye.
And Council President Waterman.
Aye.
Items 10.25 through 10.32 are approved 8-0 with Councilperson Ridley absent. For the balance of our resolutions, items 10.33 through 10.37. Again, that's 10.33 through 10.37. Councilperson Prinzary.
Aye for all.
Councilperson Bajano.
Aye.
Councilperson Saleh.
Aye.
Councilperson Solomon.
Aye.
Councilperson Robinson.
Aye.
Councilperson Lavaro.
Just on 10.36, I want to thank Barker Patel, who's the project manager on this one. in bringing this resolution forward about urging Congress to adopt Diwali as a national holiday. I fully support that as well, and I just wanted to add that we should lead by example, and if we can urge Congress and the nation to adopt Diwali as a holiday, the city of Jersey City can adopt Diwali also as a holiday for the city of Jersey City. And with that, I'll say I vote aye for all.
Councilperson Rivera
Aye.
and Council President Waterman.
Aye.
Items 10.33 through 10.37 are approved 8-0 with Councilperson Ridley absent. Alrighty. May I have a motion to adjourn at 6:59 p.m.?
Motion.
Motion
Second.
made by Councilperson Rivera. I did hear the second by Councilperson Prince Airy. On the motion to adjourn at 6:59 p.m., all council members present by acclamation, please say aye.
Aye.
We are out of here at 6:59 p.m. Thank you so much, Council President, council members, members of the staff, directors, and all members behind the scenes. Without you, this doesn't happen, and it's not possible. And again, remember, teamwork makes the dream work. Stay safe out there. Have a great night. Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.